Hey guys, and welcome to episode number 5 of the F1 career mode here on F1 2018. We are going into the qualifying of the Catalonia Grand Prix in Barcelona. So once we've got through this, these screens are showing you the R&D points I got from the practice session and seeing what it's like with my team. We're going up a bit with all the help from with all the teams in this bit. So this is how the teams think of us now. So I want to jump forward now to see how we're doing in the rookie to veteran standing. And now we're just going to jump straight in to qualifying for the Spanish Grand Prix. Oh, maybe not. I'm just going to look through the engines first. Set it to engine 2. Give me a bit more pace. So now we're jumping in. This is quali 1. We're going to do our lap in quali 1. Go a bit wide on the exit of the out lap. Doesn't matter as long as it doesn't do that in the actual lap. DRS open. Flying through turn 1 and turn 2. And then through a long right hander. Then braking heavily for the next right hander. Not got the best of laps, not making the best of lines. It gets all a bit, and I hit the wall.
Are you alright? Engine off, engine off.
But I do use a flashback just so I can continue in quali. And we go back going through the right hander again. Still a bit wide, still not taking the optimum racing line. Still not quite getting that line quite right. Still struggling a bit with the way the circuit is. As I lose the back end a little bit going through that S-bend. Dropping down to 6th gear. DRS open once again. Braking hard down to 2nd gear. Overshooting the corner just a little bit. Going purple in the middle sector, but it gets taken by Hamilton, I believe, who's behind me. Braking down to 3rd gear, back up to 4th, but I have to go all the way down to 1st for some reason. Back up into 2nd, flying off the final corner. Take a little bit of curb, open the DRS, across the line to go P3 at the moment. Obviously we're going to drop down the order a bit. I don't think that first lap's enough, so I'm going round again. 200 of a second, 2/10 of a second down, should I say, on my first lap. Braking into the next corner, catching up to the back of Ericsson. Braking hard, taking the corner. Got a lot better through that corner that time. The back end didn't step out on me, trying to go down the inside of Ericsson on our flying lap. Nearly doesn't give us enough room. Braking hard, coming into this corner. Losing the back end just a tad. Now through the S-bend where I always lose the back end just a little bit. Running low on fuel as I brake for the next corner. Now down into 2nd gear, through the S again. I'm up by just a little bit. And I do go faster and I jump Magnussen. 3/10 of a second faster. So we're just dropping down the order a bit. We go down to P11. Just keeping an eye out as we go through the minutes, just to see if I'm going to get kicked out in quali 1. Hopefully not. Still staying in 11th, we're staying put there. And we make it through. P11. So as you can see, the people who were knocked out were Stoffel Van Dorn, Charles Leclerc, Hartley, Magnussen and our teammate Lance Stroll as we go out for our lap in Q2. On my out lap I nearly lose the back end again. Going through the last couple of corners.
Okay, we're currently in the drop zone. We need you to move up into the top 10 or we won't progress to the shootout.
Yeah, I've already done one lap. This is my second lap in Q2. Going out on a fresh set of boots to try and improve my time. Giving it everything I've got now. DRS open. We brake very harshly into turn 1. Get a much better line through those two corners. Yeah, still a much better line through turn 3. Braking into turn 4. Just overshoot it a little bit. Spin the back end out. I haven't got long left, so I'm going to use another flashback. Come back into turn 3. Still getting that good line through there. Hoping to keep it that way. Can we jump through the gears? Still flying. Go purple in the first sector. Right down in as we lose purple in the first sector to somebody else. There's still a second up on our previous time. To come through the S-bend where I always lose the back end just a little bit. And we're coming back through as we're about to open the DRS for the second DRS straight of the lap. Break it down, we're now 1.3 up on our time, but we're going purple as well. They're flying through the corner. Final corner. Coming up to the next DRS zone, open the DRS with 2 point something seconds up, and we go fastest in the session so far. Only 2 minutes 56 to go. I think that's us through.
If you want to know specific information or make certain changes to the car during a pit stop, you can tell me what you want over the radio. Press and hold the radio
As we're
button
just
to
watching
activate the
this,
system.
we are a
You can either
full
speak the command or
8
select
tenths
it
of
manually
a
from the
second ahead of Verstappen in that session. Or 5 cents ahead of Ricardo now, because he's obviously done a lap at the last second. We're coming through the final return. We're coming back into our quali 3 lap. Got the S-bend a lot better that time, other than going a bit wide on the exit. As we drop down, and we're catching up to another car, so I'm going to have to slow it down just a little bit on the out lap. And then we just put the pedal to the floor and go for our flying lap in Q3. Went a bit wide, but managed to set it up nicely for the second turn. Going through turn 3, getting that line pretty much perfect. Dropping down the gears. Braking into the corner quite harshly there. Get a bit on the curbing. Unsettles the back end. Max Verstappen goes fastest. Come through the corner. Try not to outbrake ourselves. Go over the curve a bit there. It sets us up nicely for the second part of the corner. Still going a little bit offline. Yeah, managed to get into the corner nicely. Come around the final corner. Opening up the DRS again as we go fastest. We are 123.8. So we'll return to the garage. And we're going to fast forward the rest of the session. Sorry for not having a timing screen up at the moment, guys. I completely forgot. And as I'm going out on track again to do a second flying lap. And I'm not going to make it to the line. I left it too late to do a second flying lap. Will it affect us? We're still on P1 as we speak. And it's the end of the session.
Okay, good job, mate. Really well done.
And we get
Fantastic.
pole for the Spanish Grand Prix.
The grid is all set then for the race tomorrow. But before we...
So now we're just going to go straight into the race. Not going to bother looking through the whole grid order because we'll get to see that at the race intro. So let's jump straight in to the race for the Spanish Grand Prix.
The flat-out turn 3 and the terrifying blind right of turn 9. Anthony Davidson joins me again for the race today. Let's talk briefly about Lewis Hamilton. That was a great win in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
There are never any guarantees in this business, but certainly the performance last time out would have boosted their confidence coming into this one.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Joker lines up on pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Hamilton, Daniel Ricciardo, and Raikkonen, Sainz, Alonso, Hülkenberg, and Sebastian Vettel, Perez, Ocon, Romain Grosjean, and Magnussen, Gasly, Van Dorn, Charles Leclerc, and Brendan Hartley, Ericsson, and Lance Stroll rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
You've done
So
well
here
to
we go.
come
We're going to be
on
looking at
board,
our
but we've still
race
got work to do.
strategy.
Try to cover the
I
inside
add a bit
line
more
at the
fuel
start.
to the car just to make sure I've got enough for the race so I can run in a lot in rich. We're now going to jump into the race. Or into the formation lap. We get a good pull off the line. Little bit of wheel spin.
System checks are good. We need to stay in formation and start bringing the car up to temperature, please. Get some load into the tyres and work the brakes. We want them nice and warm by the end of the lap.
As we're flying through the corner. Got a bit fast for a formation lap really, just trying to warm up everything. Just gonna back up so the pack can catch up with me a little bit. And the pack are on me again, so now I'm gonna push a little bit. But every time I push they just stay well far back, so I'm having to keep my pace quite slow here. Don't want to be sitting on the grid for too long.
No threat of rain for the time being. Conditions looking good.
backing up the pack, so I'm not sat on the grid for too long. As you can see, there's a Williams at the front and there's a Williams at the back of the grid. Now as they're just reforming the grid, we've got to get a good pull off the line. Don't worry guys, I will be upping the difficulty for the next race for the Monaco Grand Prix, as this is just ridiculous that I can get pole in a Williams that isn't really upgraded that much. I will see how the race goes.
The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid has formed. Be ready with the clutch.
Just waiting for the rest of the grid to form. And here we go. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out for the Spanish Grand Prix. As we get a good start off the line, but people behind us have got even better starts. Max Verstappen's going up the inside. We've got Lewis Hamilton going round the out. No, Valtteri Bottas going round the outside as Lewis Hamilton's trying to go down the inside as well. We pull around to the outside, keep Lewis Hamilton behind us. Bottas gets spun out by Max Verstappen. Yellow flag in the first corner, and the safety car is deployed on the first lap. Safety car is deployed. He's now got to stick behind Verstappen. He's going to follow behind for the rest of the first lap, guys. Just trying to catch up with the safety car queue now. Staying well under the delta, trying to save the battery, save the fuel. So when we get back to racing, we can burn that all off and try and overtake Verstappen.
Okay, we're through the start phase. Now let's build on it. Okay, slow down.
Slow down. But yet Verstappen can still drive that quick. So I have to reduce my pace. Bit ridiculous. He didn't pull out that much of a gap before we went under safety car. So now all the pack's going to come together as we jump forward to lap 3 when the safety car is coming in. So Verstappen's just backing up the pack, backing me up. I'm going to put all the fuel up into maximum and the ERS up into maximum. So when Verstappen decides it's time to go, I could just catch up, I could just go with him.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
This probably wasn't the best time to ask me this, Jeff. About to go green.
Confirmed.
As Max Verstappen makes a dash for it, we're going to follow him through, trying to stay as close as we can to him. We've got Lewis Hamilton right on our tail. But Verstappen has got a great launch off this restart. Are we going to be able to keep up with him? He's already a second ahead of us after going through the S's and going down the main straight. And coming to turn 1. Lewis Hamilton having a little look but can't make anything of it. Getting even closer to come off the corner. Hopefully I can get him to drop right off us. The break into the corner, he gets very close again. Just trying to keep up with Max Verstappen as best as I can. Can't quite get on the back of him just yet. And we're really pushing the car to see if we can keep up with him. Yep. Thought better of going for a massive dive bomb there. As I lose the back end a little bit going through the S-bend. We go very wide there, but managed to save it. And Lewis is right on my tail, and so is another car. I think it's Sebastian Vettel. I'm just trying to pull away from them both.
Pit window open. Let's box
But
it.
Hamilton is sticking right with us, and we're going to be pitting this lap as we come towards the middle of the end of the lap. So we're just going to see if we're going to box this lap and see where we end up coming out. But we're going to try the undercut on a lot of people here. Pitting in a lap 5. It probably wasn't the best idea. I probably should have extended my stint for another couple of laps as we take out the bollard, due to the fact that the pack is still so closely together. I come into the pits dropping down the order quite drastically. Pull into my pit box. Team do quite a speedy stop with a 2.465, and we come out in P20. And we've gone from the front of the grid to the back of the grid in the first 5 laps, but everyone else is yet to pit, so we should be good. And we're not too far behind the pack anyway, as we start catching up to the back of some cars and overtake 3 or 4, 5, 6 cars in the pit stop window. But we're still catching up to the back of Carlos Sainz. So the undercut hopefully will work against Max Verstappen here. But everything is, I'm just trying to get as much out of the car as possible here. And we jump forward to where we're right on the back of Carlos Sainz.
We're running an excess of fuel. We can turn up the engine to mix both.
And we open DRS, go round, as we don't get past him. Actually another flashback there, guys, as we're pulling into the back end of Carlos Sainz. We go to the inside for a little cheeky move down the inside. We hit each other, I exceed the track limits by accident, hit the back end and we bash wheels again. And Carlos Sainz pits.
You've taken some minor damage.
And I have damaged the front wing just a little bit. Got Hamilton back behind me as I go up to 12th position, 11th. As now we're catching up to the back of Ericsson, who seems to be getting slowed down by a Toro Rosso and my teammate Stroll.
Some of this energy.
So go down the inside of Ericsson. Then as I try to go for the move through here on my teammate, can't quite make it happen. Now we've got DRS as I move to the inside. No, to the outside, sorry. Try and go round the outside of my teammate. My teammate locks up, which allows me to stay alongside. Can't quite make it happen at this point in time, as I'm right on the rear wing, nearly taking off my front wing. As I pull down straight down the inside, a bit rough on my teammate, giving him a little wheel bang for extra measures. Come down the pit straight. Do we overtake anyone else in the pit lane? No, we don't, as we jump forward to when we're right on the back of Pierre Gasly. Got DRS wide open as we go down the inside of Gasly. And we make that work.
You made it look easy.
As we're coming back onto the main straight, Gasly's right on my tail. As he's catching me on the straight. So the car comes out of the pits of Vettel. He tries to go down the inside, I chuck it down the outside, but squeeze him right into the inside curve. We touch a little bit, but we managed to stay ahead. As now I'm catching up to the back of Sebastian Vettel. We've got DRS open. Braking hard into the corner. Overshoot it just a little bit. And I believe that's that attempt. pretty much gone. We're still on his tail, we're not too far back, but I think that's the attempt over.
We've got plenty of energy. Switch to overtake and have a go.
Yeah, as we go onto the main straight, put everything up into overtake, just absolutely giving it everything, full beams. We don't have DRS, we're not within a second at the detection point.
4 seconds.
But we're 2 seconds behind Vettel. I don't think this is going to happen right now.
For his stop.
As we jump forward another few laps, and we overtake another few people in the pits.
Energy is available.
We go up into P6 of this Grand Prix. As I keep to my current strategy, still trying to catch up with Vettel. Not the best place to be checking your MFD in mid-corner. But we're in overtake, Rich Mix is absolutely flying. As we catch up to the back of Charles Leclerc, who Vettel has just overtaken. So go down the inside, give him a little love tap for extra measures. And now we can get on with chasing after Sebastian Vettel again. As we jump forward to the end of their lap as Perez pits, Vettel has just overtaken him. Which puts us up into P4 for the time being.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on mediums.
So we're now in P4 as we're catching up to the back of Vettel. He's got a block of Ocon as Ocon comes into the pits, which puts us up into P3, right behind Sebastian Vettel. We're right on the back of Vettel again now. As we jump forward a bit in the lap, we are even closer to Vettel now. We're within 0.4 of a second. We'll try a little move down the inside, having to slam on the brakes to make sure I don't smash into the back of Vettel. I'm going for another move down the inside as I heavily have to go on the brakes. Can't quite make it happen there, but we're coming up to the DRS zone. Hopefully I can do it under braking at the end. Opening up the DRS.
Try to stay with him. You might make a mistake. You can still regain the position.
I never had that position in the first place. Does say some weird things, Jeff does. Jump into the pit on lap 17 to make our second and final pit stop. Hopefully it's a good one from the team. I don't want to drop down the order too much, but it looks like Hamilton and also Raikkonen are pitting behind me. We need a good stop here now, team. They've changed the tyres, they're going to the medium tyres. And these will be the tyres that we stay on to the end of the Grand Prix. We come out the pits and get overtaken by Bottas and Van Dorn, having to brake a bit harder than usual into this corner to make sure I don't go flying into the back of the pair of them. But we're right on the back of Van Dorn. Move to the inside to the next corner. Brake hard. Make sure we don't hit the back of Bottas. Van Dorn has a little look up the inside again to try and do the switchback manoeuvre, but can't make it happen. DRS on Valtteri Bottas here. I think I'm a bit too far back to just go for the lunge, so we're going to have to wait for the next couple of corners here. I'm still right on his tail. Van Dorn's still right on mine, not really pulling away from him very much.
Vettel's just moved into first place.
Verstappen is in the pits. So, and then Bottas pits, so we are now released to chase after Sebastian Vettel. But as you can see on the map, Verstappen is coming out of the pits. He's a bit far ahead. I don't think we're going to be able to overtake him just yet.
Medium
As we
tires.
jump forward into the next couple of laps, and we come up to the back of Max Verstappen. We jump down the inside, give him a little squeeze, but he doesn't budge. But we've got the better line onto the straight as we go down the inside of Max Verstappen. A little bit of contact there. DRS open,
Brilliant.
pulling away from him.
We're leading our teammate by 38.1
As you can see there is Sebastian Vettel. We're right on the back of him again. We haven't lost time, we've gained time on him here. In the pit stop phase, the undercut has sort of worked. We go for a move down the inside, having to brake very harshly to make sure we don't smash into the back of him as he cuts us off and comes across our front wing. Go for another move down the inside as he gives us the space, lets us through, opens the door for us, and we just go off. And we are now got to build a gap. Now it's pretty much as plain sailing as we move forward into the final lap of the Grand Prix. I am going to be silent for this. We have got a 3-second penalty though, so we've got to keep that 3-second gap.
The gap behind us is 3.6 seconds. There's only one lap of fuel remaining.
As we come through the final corner, a very long final corner, to win the Spanish Grand Prix. We just managed to keep that gap enough to stay ahead of Sebastian Vettel. We jump forward to see the team's reaction and also the podium celebration.
Brilliant stuff from Williams today. What a superb victory. And I have to wonder, Anthony Davidson, just what set them apart from the competition here.
Without a doubt, the safety car changed everything today. The key to their success was keeping calm and reacting to the situation quickly. We've seen teams in the past throw away wins because they were too hesitant, but here they were decisive, and that's allowed them to take the advantage.
Oh, here they are now. I always love seeing the independent teams do well. Williams have a long and storied history with F1, and I'm delighted to see them on the top step of the podium.
What a great way to come back from crashing out in 2 Grand Prix so far this season. No points yet to win a Grand Prix. From pole position to the
Now,
win.
let's take a look at the driver's standings.
So
Well,
as
the
you
lead at
can
the top has come
see
down
here,
after a poor result for our points
we
leader.
are
Now then, Anthony Davidson, who was your
in
driver of
7th
the
in the
day?
points
I'm gonna go for
championship
Sebastian
now.
Vettel. People have suggested before
We've
he
really
race
jumped
wheel to
up
wheel, but
the
he's
order
shown
there.
today he
Lewis
can
Hamilton still ahead by 20
let's take a
points.
look at the
Vettel has
constructors'
caught him up a lot though.
Ferrari moved to the top of the table. Another
Lance
team that
Stroll
excelled
is
today
still
was
at near
Williams.
the bottom, but he's
Further
got
progress up the
this is
table.
not right at the bottom. And Williams are now in P5 in the constructors, 2 points ahead of Renault, and only 3 points behind Haas, I believe that was. And as you can see, the way it ended, Fernando Alonso did not finish. I thought it was Bottas that would have gone out of the race at the beginning with the way that... Right, here we go to an interview with Claire.
You made it look easy. You took the top points today. Was it a comfortable win?
So is it comfortable win? The car was amazing.
Everything went your way today. It looked like you had a really good strategy for the race.
Well raced hard and got the podium finish.
You're breaking all expectations. What's your secret?
That would be telling.
Well, looks like your luck has changed. Things went a lot better than last weekend, didn't they?
We've made some improvements in the engine department. It seems to be paying off.
Great. Well, that's everything.
So as we jump forward to see the points that we got for R&D. Both of us got a penalty there. We're catching up to Stroll in our rivalry. Hopefully we can actually catch him properly. Now we're on 978 resource points. We've gone up in a lot of teams' eyes there, which means we've got some. Hopefully, we're going to have some things to think about for the next season. I don't know because the new game's coming out shortly. Maybe we'll get a lot more videos on that one. I'm sorry that I haven't made as many videos on this one. I will be making a little video about this one with no commentary. It will just be literally just a car going around, and you guys can enjoy that. Listening to one of the older cars. Our contract, hopefully we can get a new contract sooner rather than later. Do a rear wing upgrade. Try and get a bit more downforce on the back end of the car. Can't do simultaneous development because I screwed up the first contract negotiation. And I can't upgrade anything else because I've got insufficient resource points, or I'm ready doing an upgrade for that department. Well, guys, this is the end of this one. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.